What's up, guys? Back in today with more Jujutsu Kaisen, this time with Season 3, Episode 3. It was a great episode, couple episodes last time out with us starting off this Culling game arc. I'll get more into the rules and things in a minute, but yeah, really loved that we saw Yuta's kind of goals behind what he was doing. I was always kind of questioning exactly what the motives were behind him hunting down Itadori so hard, but yeah, just a promise he made to Gojo. I liked the introduction of the blonde guy last episode. I forget his name off the top of my head, but he was pretty fantastic. I did see that a bunch of his scenes were anime original as well, which I think was really cool. Yeah, I think some of his scenes were some of my favourites fight wise last week. But I think we ended off meeting this Tengen guy finally, the guy with like four eyes, the white guy in that white room. Still not 100% sure what the deal with him is. I think last time I heard about him, again, probably missing a few things here from last season, but last time we heard about him was the hidden inventory, was it, where they were like searching for a new vessel for him or something along those lines. So it'd be interesting to see more of him. But yeah, on the Culling game rules, I did actually go back and read through them on a different post, away from the video I recorded last week. I think whenever I watched it last week, it didn't actually fully explain every detail because I don't remember seeing anything about there being rules towards the end, about there being additional rules being implemented. I think, forgive me if I'm wrong about saying this, I think like the winner or like someone with a lot of points can then implement a new rule for the game, and that rule has to specifically be in kind of tandem with the game. If it's a rule that kind of contradicts or stops the game, it can't be implemented. I won't go into it too much because I have heard that it will be explained. Someone, I did see someone say too much. It will be gone into too much detail about the rules in these upcoming episodes. So hopefully that's the case because it's going to be a little bit hard to get my head around without seeing it. But I did go through the rules once more and to make a bit more sense of it all. But as I did say, I didn't like study it or anything because I did see someone say that they are going to explain it as the episodes go on a bit more and more. But it's an interesting setup, isn't it? It's kind of killing game. Some cool references there as well. I did see some posts about. So I saw a video, kind of unrelated, but I saw a video of a guy creating one of those Japanese, I forget what it's called, pompadours, and it seems like a hassle and a half. It's like 100 hairpins involved. It's been an absolute nightmare. So this is a woman, right? Tengen. Got a woman voice actress, and the vessel they were talking about, I said about earlier, was a woman as well. Noritoshi Kamo. Also, thanks for some of the comments last week explaining exactly what was going on with Itadori and his mother, who is Enjaku, but was Nadetori. Yeah, been a few people. Really? Really? Guarding for to help with the culling game stuff? Purpose of Kenjaku. Yeah. Yeah. To combine you with humanity, which there is none. Good fucking question. Just is. Just like the air. Okay. So what were we even protecting? Reason unknown. Oh shit. Oh shit, I see. So okay. Pretty handy for Kenjaku. Causality. That's a big thing in Berserk. Jesus. Got those things out there ASAP. This is thorough right here, isn't it? Holy shit. He was fucking sick. One of the best additions in this show. So this does serve as a bit of a nice. It's a shame we didn't get this earlier. As Yeah, so this almost serves as a pretty nice kind of recap as well. This doesn't it? It's kind of explaining a few things, a few not exactly motivations, but yeah, it's kind of explaining a lot of the events till now. Yeah, it's a shame we didn't get this the first episode. This would have been a nice recap for me. But okay, a lot to take in right now. A lot to take in. Give myself a pause for a second there. Current of causality. Good question. I'm that's one of the big things I'm interested in. What exactly is this about? I guess this is something created by Kenjaku then. Like, who's hosting this? Like, what's the deal with all this shit? Why do we have to participate? Who is then? And why do we have to play? So we have to play. Otherwise, I think there was a rule about having to play actually. Something about I can't remember exactly. It was pretty early on the rules though. I think that makes sense. That's a good idea. If you're winning, the rule you make is that some players don't have to participate. Another rule, another interesting rule you could make. Certain person has to free Gojo. But yeah, I think there was a rule early on about saying like you either get killed or you lose your cursed energy or something if you don't participate in like 14 days or something like that. It'd be nice if the Japanese was subtitled a bit more, but yeah. It's complicated, man. I think it's one of those things. I'm much better just kind of like I like learning about stuff by listening to it and stuff. I learn pretty decently that way, but this seems like one of those ones where you need to like participate and we have to actually see it in action to kind of get it. That is unfortunate. Oh wow, wow, okay. He kind of sealed his own fate. That guy was pretty cool in the movie, wasn't he? The angel. Anakurusu. Looks a bit like Farnese. Old Farney from Berserk. Thank God. That was a lot to take in. And even then I didn't like, you can't expect me to fully comprehend all of that. As I said, we'll see how it goes down. What did that say on the right there in Japanese? Like I said, I'd like to know what that actually says. Two months. Yeah, I guess so. Well, he's just like a puppet, right? Type thing. That is. That's almost too nice. Is everybody participating in this going to get this level of explanation? I'd assume not, because this is really in depth. Well, again, maybe so actually, for what she just said there. Oh yeah, we know how that's been affecting you, bro. So this one was something I was interested in. This is points are administered by administrators who decide on who's worth what amount of points. So I think in general it was like a normal person or something was worth like 1 point. So like Maki would be like worth 1 point, whereas a sorcerer like Megami would be worth like 5 points at least. But from the way this is worded, I think they can, like, if it's an exceptional sorcerer, so if it was like if Gojo's still about and you beat him, you could well be rewarded like 99 points based off their discretion, right? Or something along those lines. That's the way I'm interpreting this. Players with 100 points can add a rule, not what I'm talking about. Points are determined by the administrator and value placed on the player's life. So I think it says here, like, they're usually worth 5, but again, the way this is worded seems like they can be worth more than 5. So it's not a set 1 or 5. You could have 1, 5, 10, 20, 50, depending on the power of the person you take down. But who is it that's going to be administrating this? Like, these are some big questions, aren't they? Who's running it? Who's judging this? Like, yeah. I mean, I guess I was very much right to say that they are going to go a lot more in depth on the rules here. Wasn't expecting them to this episode, though. Ogame. Ogane. So the rules as a Shikigami. Yeah, I think this is the most interesting rule. That you can add a rule. The game that it's going by so fast. The game master must approve any rule additions that aren't game breaking. So that's with what I said a minute ago. Well, 15 minutes ago now. They can add rules, but they can't be to the detriment of the game or something to that. Not the like that's not even. You got to use really specific wording because not to the detriment of the game is not accurate. Not to hinder the game's continued progress. I think more accurate. You can't hinder the progress of the actual game itself, but you can alter it. How are you going to expect me to read that in fucking a second and a half? Also, how are the Japanese reading this? Half of it's covered by the characters. One didn't even have any subtitles. Oh, there it was. At the end for a split second. Sorry, guys. There's never going to be a lot of pause in here. If I'll reset the timer once we get past this portion. Although we might be finished the episode by then. If a sorcerer does not earn or lose points within 19 days, they lose their technique. So if they chose not to participate at the start, they lose their technique and essentially die. But if they don't choose not to, if they like participate but not actually kill anyone, they also just lose their technique / die anyway. Okay. And you know what? I said last week that the culling word reminds me of animals killing their young, and I looked it up and it was something eerily similar actually. I can't remember exactly what it meant, but it was quite close. He is. He is. I think that's the first time we saw Megami react to that. He's been known about that. Kinji. Kinji. Have we seen this person? I don't recognize them. Really? Yeah, no way. I don't believe that. Maybe he was. But now I can't imagine that's the case. Bro said he had more curse energy than Gojo. Not that Gojo fully relied on curse energy, and he had an infinite. Yeah. But I don't know, I can't believe that. Okay, we'll set things up. There was a lot to take in this episode. Might be worth rewatching this one before next week. But I feel like I got most of it down. And as I said earlier, it's also one of those things where it probably make more sense as you kind of go along with it. It's kind of like a game. When you just like pick up a game, I've been playing Sekiro recently. At the start, I was awful. It's really hard learning curve, and then it's just like you're so comfortable with it. It just takes a bit of getting used to. All these motherfuckers right here are going to become sorcerers. You're washed up. Poor guy. He got a couple claps from the audience. No boos. It could always be worse. True. Look at Amy Schumer's career. I don't think she's ever made a good movie or comedy special or anything. Yeah, somehow she's rich and famous. Plenty of people like that. Fumihiko Takaba. Okay, good episode. Getting a lot of brain power. Well, I say that it wasn't incredibly complicated. It was just the fact that a lot of the explanations, because it's one of those being a foreigner things, because it's in Japanese, probably a bit easier to understand as a Japanese person, isn't it? But with like the translations having different kind of meanings and them not translating every piece of Japanese on the screen, it's probably inevitably missed a few things here and there, but thorough explanation of prior events leading up to this, reasons why we're doing this, and the rules of this Culling game. Okay. Sorry, I'm probably being really stupid here, but I recognised his name there. Were they speaking about him during the scenes before? This Takaba guy? I recognise that name. There's Nobara. I didn't catch her in the ending till now. Bottom left there. Okay, what we got next week? Oh, Maki going crazy. Zembu Kuashite. I'll destroy all of it. Who is it saying that? But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'm not sure I recognise the voice. Yeah, really good episode. No action whatsoever, but that's the thing about Jujutsu Kaisen. Like, it's one of those action shows that I really like the action of. It's got some of the best at looking action, but it's actually just like interesting in its own way. It's very, I'm not sure I'd say overly complicated. It definitely can get a bit complex for seemingly like quite a simple kind of battle royale kind of style concept. It's more so like the relationships of how the characters kind of interact with each other or like the history between them that makes it more complicated. and maybe not kind of like it would be one of those shows, a bit like Durarara and Bacano in a way, of where it would be better on a second watch once you go over the information twice in some aspects. It's not like your simple kind of battle shonen that you can just like mindlessly watch. So even if there is no action, it's actually still like a really interesting show. And yeah, lots of things covered today. I did, as I said there, were they talking about him, this Takaba guy, earlier on? If they were, I forget which part exactly, but I've definitely heard his name brought up before, I think. Looks like a pretty cool design character as well. It's kind of failed comedian guy, but yeah, lots of rules to go over. Again, I'll probably rewatch this episode. I honestly actually think I gained more just from like looking at one screenshot last week of like all the rules, just because everything was like spread out for me. This one, it kind of went over the rules a bit more specifically on each one of them, went into detail on a few of them, but there were still rules we didn't fully kind of cover here. But yeah, maybe you just need to kind of get into it to kind of fully understand it. But certainly an interesting concept, isn't it? This Culling game. Be looking forward to getting it started, which I think they said it's like a month away. So I think we're like a month away, or like a couple of weeks away from it starting, and then it lasts like a whole month. So imagine there's been a lot of character deaths of like fan favorite characters and such already, so I can only imagine it's going to happen even more in this arc. So yeah, should be great. Let me know what you guys thought in the comment section. Let me know if I missed anything. You guys were awesome last week. Thank you for all the comments last week that helped me out with a few bits of context and things that I missed during the episode. I absolutely love hearing that, so I'd appreciate that with this one as well, as there was plenty of stuff going on around the screen. Leave a like on the video if you guys did like, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date with these reactions, and I'll catch you guys next week with episode 4.